Welcome to BIM and AI in Practice. We're excited to have you with us for the second episode of our Revit 2025 series. In today's session, we'll pick up where we left off, diving deeper into the Architecture tab, the central hub for accessing essential architectural tools. If you haven't already, be sure to check out the first part, where we explored the build and circulation panels. This session is designed for users of all levels, from beginners to intermediate, though even advanced professionals will find valuable insights to help optimize their workflows. For engineers and construction professionals, stay tuned. We've got dedicated videos coming soon, focusing on the Structure tab and much more. Make sure to check back each week for fresh, in-depth content that will help you unlock the full potential of Autodesk Revit and elevate your BIM experience. A strong foundation in architecture enhances problem-solving abilities and promotes innovation, which is essential for developing sustainable, functional, and visually captivating spaces. Continuous learning in architectural technology like BIM and AI further empowers professionals to stay ahead in a rapidly evolving industry. Now let's jump right in. Let's continue exploring the tools available in the Architecture tab, starting with a powerful feature, adding model text. This feature allows you to display signs or lettering directly on building elements, like walls, doors, windows, and even furniture. You can use model text in both project views and the family editor for families that can be represented in 3D. However, note that it isn't available for families limited to 2D representation, such as annotations, detail components, or profiles. When adding model text, you have control over several properties. These include font style, text size, and material type, giving you flexibility in customization to match your design requirements. Here's how to get started. First, set the work plane where you want your text to appear. In the work plane dialog, select the option Pick a Plane. This creates a plane that coincides with the selected plane. Move the cursor over the drawing area to highlight the available work planes. Then click to select the desired plane. Next, click on Model Text, located in the Architecture tab. It's also available in the Structure tab under the Model panel, so you can easily access it from either location. In the Edit Text dialog box, type your desired text and click OK. As you move the cursor, a live preview of the model text will appear. Position the text by moving the cursor to the desired location and clicking to place it. Once text is in place, you can select it and adjust its properties from the Properties palette. Instance properties allow you to modify the text content, alignment, materials, and other settings for individual instances of model text. To make global changes across a family of model text, you can modify the type properties. This lets you adjust the font, size, and other universal aspects of the text. Now, let's take a look at the Model Line tool, which allows you to add 3D lines to your design. Model lines are workplane-based elements that exist in 3D space and are visible in all views, making them a versatile tool for creating geometric representations, such as cords or cables supporting a tarp. To begin, click on Model Line to activate the tool. You can also find it in the Structure tab under the Model panel. Next, move your cursor to the Draw panel, where you can choose sketching options such as simple lines. Specify a start point and end point for a line, or specify the line length. Rectangles. Select the position for 2 diagonal corners to sketch a rectangle. Sketch an inscribed polygon. For an inscribed polygon, the radius of the circle is measured to a vertex between sides of the polygon. Sketch a circumscribed polygon. Sketch a polygon whose sides are a specific distance from the center. Circled. Draw a circle by specifying its center point and the radius. Various arcs. Several arc tools are available for sketching curves or rounded corners. Or spline. When sketching a spline, try to use the simplest lines or combination of lines to achieve the desired results. Alternatively, you can use pick lines to draw lines by selecting existing lines or walls within your model. On the options bar, you'll see several settings to customize your model line. If you need to draw the line on a plane different from the current one, select a different placement plane from the drop-down list. If the desired plane isn't listed, click Pick and use the Work Plane dialog to define your preferred plane. To draw multiple connected line segments, activate the Chain option. Line styles help indicate different effects, such as using a dashed line to represent reference planes. You can choose from system-based line styles or create custom line styles to meet your specific standards. These styles are also useful when drawing detail lines or defining the boundaries of filled regions. Additionally, the Convert Lines tool gives you the flexibility to change a line to a model line, a detail line, or a symbolic line. Keep in mind that the active view must support the new line type for the conversion to work. Individual lines to organizing multiple elements. In Revit, you can group elements within a project or family, allowing you to place multiple instances of that group throughout your design. Grouping is especially useful for creating recurring layouts or common entities that appear across multiple building projects. Think hotel rooms, apartments, or repeating floors. Grouping is its associativity. Each instance of the group you place is linked, meaning that if you modify one element in the group, it automatically updates all other instances. For example, imagine you create a group that includes a bed, walls, and a window. By placing multiple instances of this group, you can change a wall in one instance, and it will update in every other instance across your project. Simplifying modifications. Let's walk through how to create and place a group. First, click the Model Group drop-down and select Create Group. Second, in the Create Group dialog, give your group a name. Third, choose the type of group to create, model or detail, and then click OK. Revit will enter Group Edit mode. When you're in this mode, the background color of the drawing area will change to help you identify that you are editing the group. Next, If you want to add more elements to the group, click Add in the Edit Group panel, then select the elements you wish to include. Finally, when you've finished adding elements, click Finish to complete the group. Now to place the group, first, on the ribbon, click Place Model Group. You can place model groups, detail groups, or attach detail groups in your drawing area. Second, in the Type selector, choose the type of group you want to place. Third, click in the drawing area to place the group. You can also place groups directly from the project browser. First, expand groups under Model or Detail. Second, drag the desired model or detail group into the drawing area to place it. Additionally, you can load Revit models into a project as a group, or load Revit family files.rfa into the family editor as a group. Finally, if you have existing Revit group files.rvg, you can load those into a project or family as well, making it easy to reuse previously saved group configurations. Now that we've covered creating and placing a group, let's move on to the next essential step in your Revit workflow: placing rooms in your building model. To place rooms in your building model, begin by opening a plan view and using the Room tool. A room in Revit represents a subdivision of space within the building, defined by elements such as walls, floors, roofs, and ceilings. These elements are considered room bounding. Revit relies on these to calculate the perimeter, area, and volume of the room. One effective way to manage your room calculations in Revit is by adjusting the room bounding properties of various elements. For example, you may choose to set toilet partitions as non-bounding. This is because these partitions typically aren't factored into room computations, such as area or volume calculations. When you specify an element as non-bounding, Revit will exclude it from the room's boundaries, meaning it won't contribute to the calculations of the room's area or volume. Nor will it affect any adjacent rooms that share the same non-bounding element. When working on early-stage designs, you can add rooms to your room schedule before placing any room-bounding elements like walls. Later, once the room-bounding elements are added, you can place the predefined rooms into your model. Here's how to add a room. 1. Click on the Room tool. If you want to display a room tag along with the room, make sure the Tag on Placement option is selected. 2. If you'd prefer not to show a room tag when placing the room, simply turn off the Tag on Placement option. To view room bounding elements, click on Highlight Boundaries in the Modify panel. Revit will highlight these elements in gold and display a warning, helping you quickly identify which elements are contributing to the room's boundaries. Important note: Revit will not allow you to place a room in any space that is narrower than 306 millimeters, ensuring that your room definitions are always practical. When room bounding elements don't exist at the desired boundary of a room, you can add a separation line to help define the space. Room separation lines are considered room bounding, making them an excellent solution for creating distinct areas within a larger room. For example, you could use a room separation line to designate a dining area within a living room, without needing to add a wall between the two spaces. Lines are visible in both plan views and 3D views. offering flexibility across different perspectives. To add a room separation line, first, click on the Room Separation Line tool. Next, sketch the separation lines where you want the boundaries of the room to be defined. Already contains a room, Revit will automatically adjust the room boundaries to align with the newly placed separation lines. If the space doesn't yet have a room, you can still add one after placing the separation line. If you don't use the Tag on Placement option when creating rooms, you can always add tags later. To add a room tag, first, click the Tag Room tool. Next, click inside a room to place the room tag. As you place tags, they will automatically align with any existing tags for consistency. Once you've put a room tag, you can modify its properties to suit your needs. While we'll dive deeper into tag customization in more advanced lessons, for now, just remember that deleting a room can be done directly from the room schedule. If you delete a room from the schedule, the corresponding room tag will also be deleted. However, if you delete a room tag from a plan view, the room itself will remain in both the project and the schedule. Room volumes in Revit can be displayed on the Properties palette, in Room Tags, and in Schedules. But by default, Revit does not compute room volumes automatically. When volume computation is turned off, you'll see Not Calculated for the volume parameter in Tags and Schedules. Since computing volumes can impact Revit's performance, it's best to enable this feature only when you're preparing schedules or views that require volume data. The room component plays a key role in maintaining data for the area where it's placed. It stores various parameters that influence important factors like heating and cooling in your project. For an accurate energy analysis, it's crucial that every area in your model is defined by room components, and that the entire building volume is accounted for. When exporting project information to a GBXML file as an analytical model, any spaces not typically classified as rooms, such as attics, shafts, chases, or the space between floors and ceilings, must be included in the overall volume of the project. In addition, rooms should be defined from the center line of bounding walls and from floor height to floor height to ensure there are no gaps between building spaces. To check for potential gaps in the analytical model, you can use the shaded 3D view in the GBXML export dialog. If any gaps are detected, you'll need to adjust the room properties in the building model to correct the volume and ensure an accurate representation of your project. If you found our BIM and AI in Practice channel helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more valuable content. Now let's jump back in and explore areas and area tags. Areas and area tags are distinct but closely related components in Revit. Areas are model elements, similar to walls and doors, that define specific spaces within your building. On the other hand, area tags are annotation elements that you can place within area plan views to label and describe these spaces. During the early stages of your design, before adding walls or other bounding elements, you can create an area schedule. In this schedule, you can list the areas you plan to use in your project. Once you've added these predefined areas to your area plan, you can later place them into your project as needed. To create an area, Start by opening an area plan view. In the New Area Plan dialog, select an area scheme for the type. Area types are an instance property of areas and define the measurement rules that Revit applies to area boundaries. When you create a new area scheme, it automatically uses the type values from the rentable area scheme. Here's a breakdown of some common area types in Revit. Gross building area types. Gross building area. This represents the total constructed area of a building, including all space inside the outer face of the building's exterior walls. Exterior area refers to areas located outside the building's exterior walls, such as an exterior courtyard enclosed by walls. Now moving on to the rentable area types. These areas typically focus on spaces that can be leased or rented within a building. Building common area includes spaces like lobbies, atriums, conference rooms, lounges, vending areas, security desks, concierge areas, food service facilities, fitness centers, daycare facilities, locker or shower rooms, and mail rooms. Office area. This is the area where tenants typically house personnel, furniture, or both. Floor area includes spaces such as washrooms, janitorial closets, electrical rooms, telephone rooms, mechanical rooms, elevator lobbies, public corridors, and other areas used primarily by tenants on a particular floor. Major vertical penetration. This includes stairs, elevator shafts, flues, pipe shafts, vertical ducts, and their enclosing wall. Next, select a level for the area plan view. If you select multiple levels, Revit will create a separate area plan for each level and group them by area scheme in the project browser. This helps organize your area plans efficiently within the project. Click OK. Revit will then prompt you to automatically create area boundary lines associated with all external walls. You'll be given two options. Yes, Revit will automatically place the boundary lines along the exterior walls, forming a closed loop around the area. No, you'll have the option to manually sketch the area boundary lines yourself. Start by opening an area plan view, which can be found under Area Plans in the project browser. Next, click the Area Boundary Line tool and select a sketch tool. Use the sketching tools to complete the area boundary. If you choose the Apply Area Rules option, Revit will automatically adjust the wall boundary position when the area type changes. For example, an office area is measured at the wall center line, while an exterior area is measured from the exterior wall face. By applying area rules, the boundary position updates automatically based on the area type selected. To create an area, first, click the Area drop-down, then select Area. Make sure Tag on Placement is checked. Next, click in the Area plan to place the area. Area tags display the total area within a specified boundary. When placing an area tag, you can assign a unique name to each area. To add an area tag, click the Tag Area drop-down, then select Tag Area. Click in an area to place the tag. If some or all elements in your view are untagged, You can quickly apply tags to them in one operation. First, click Tag All. Second, the Tag All Not Tagged dialog will appear. Here you can choose which elements to tag all visible elements in the current view that do not yet have tags. Select all objects in current view. To tag only the selected objects in the view, select only selected objects in current view. To include elements from linked files, select Include Elements from Linked Files. Third, select one or more tag categories, such as detail items, generic models, etc., to tag multiple types of elements in one operation. Finally, choose whether you want a leader for the tags, and then click OK. Next, let's talk about applying color schemes to floor plan and section views. These color schemes can be based on a specific value or a range of values. You can apply a unique color scheme to each view. Click the Room and Area panel drop-down and select Color Schemes. Color schemes are great for graphically illustrating categories of spaces. For instance, you can create a color scheme based on parameters such as room name, area, occupancy, or department. If you want to color rooms in a floor plan by number, first set the number parameter value for each room, then create a color scheme based on these numbers. Color schemes are not limited to rooms. They can also be applied to areas, spaces, zones, and even pipes and ducts. You can also apply fill patterns for enhanced graphical representation. You can also add a color fill legend to identify which color corresponds to each number. To add a color fill legend in your drawing, follow these steps to describe the color scheme used in your current view. First, go to the Annotate tab and click on the Color Fill panel. Then select Legend, next, click anywhere in the drawing area to place the color fill legend at your desired location. Architectural education is about more than just learning design principles. It's about blending creativity with problem-solving skills to create spaces that truly shape the world. The tools we use, like Autodesk Revit 2025, are extensions of our imagination, helping transform abstract ideas into tangible, functional structures. While the journey can be challenging at times, the rewards are immense as we craft environments that inspire, connect, and bring people together. Thank you for joining us for Part 2 of our Revit 2025 series. We've covered a lot, and we hope you found it insightful. If you haven't seen Part 1 yet, be sure to check it out. And don't forget to stay tuned for next week's episode, where we'll dive even deeper into the tools in the Architecture tab in Part 3.